Happy Wednesday, friends. It's your eCampus Pastor Erin here with another recap from Sunday's message entitled Making It on Broken Pieces. Whoo, Pastor T, I'm telling you, he must have known that last week. Boy, broken pieces clearly was my jam. Is there anyone out there who can feel me? Well, it's okay. You don't have to. I'll be transparent on my own, okay? But this word was so tailored to those stormy weather folks. Pastor T took us back to the book of Acts, where we find again the Apostle Paul during his capture and imprisonment. You see, Paul's circumstances were to translate to believers that he was not a prisoner of Rome, but a prisoner of Christ, using his physical imprisonment to serve as a spiritual platform for believers to understand on a deeper level just how free and protected we really are. The message, Acts chapter 27, where we find the Apostle Paul on his way to Rome by ship. Now, not for pleasure, but as a prisoner to be judged and to be sentenced. It was quite the voyage, to say the least, but Paul remained confident in his walk with God, and nothing really fazed him. An angel visited him and assured Paul that everything would turn out fine. Not only would everything turn out fine for him on this trip, but everything will be fine for everyone that was on board the ship because of him. Then the real test came. A storm hit, like a storm. The ship was being tossed around. They started throwing things off of the boat just to make it lighter. Anything you can think of, they did or attempted to do out of desperation. There even came a point when the ship was broken into pieces. However, Paul, he served as an example of God's grace, his mercy, and his love. He remained solid in his faith, sharing that God will see them all through. You see, standing firm on God's promises and what he told you, it makes the difference, because favor is then released. Verses 39 through 44 tells us that even on those broken pieces, they made it, and everyone reached the land safely. You see, he could have been killed many times before it was his time, but God spared him. Paul's destiny was far more greater than the storm. And because he believed, because he made a decision to trust God and God only, he and everyone connected to him were safe in the storm. So, how do we work the word this Wednesday? Honoring the last day of National Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month, we're going to work our mental. Friends, the remainder of this week calls for a complete perspective switch. This word doesn't require us that we do anything by way of practical application, but there are a few things that we need to keep working in our minds when those clouds, those stormy clouds, when they begin to form. First, know that this storm is not there just to qualify you, but to validate that you are God's chosen. It's all in how you let it rock you. But trust me, you're going to be stronger because of it. Second, know that in this transformation, things will get broken. Like your heart, your mind, and sometimes maybe even your spirit. But guess what? A storm can't stop what God has purposed. You just have to ride it out in faith, And lastly, know that the promises aren't in people, methods, or even in vehicles used. The promises are with you. You are the one who possess the promises of the King. And with your soul anchored in the Lord, you can't drown. You know why? Because He promised that everyone will make it. You stay encouraged, stay afloat, and I'll see you next Wednesday.